caller said that he was a truck driver and that he bought a legal gummy in the state of Tennessee. Bought it at a convenience store, I would assume, or whatnot. You can get them right over the counter. You can buy them. As long as you're grown, over 21, you can get them. And he took one of those to alleviate some pain. And then the next day, he had to take a drug test. And his employer said, nope, you failed your drug test and you're fired. And he's like, well, what I did was legal. And so I used some of my knowledge that I learned from you over the 20 years plus of our friendship and said, well, that company's they're allowed to have different rules that, the government doesn't have. So in this case with Fannie Willis, it seems like she might have violated some of the policies of the prosecutor's office, but that doesn't really have anything to do with the case being brought against Donald Trump.
You said that exactly right. Dang.
I'm telling you, I listened. I went to law school at the St. Clair School of Golf and Law. and I happen to know that I apparently have learned more about golf than law because somebody made 2 birdies in the first 4 holes last week.
Man, you were on fire.
Wow.
That's not good at number 4, man.
Wait a minute, you made the birdies? Yeah. So you weren't bragging about that?
No, I was waiting for St. Clair to get here.
Oh, well, it was incredible.
It was weird.
I don't know, it's about 108 yard shot uphill shots in the more handicap hole. And all the time, and it's a dirt line. And it's at 20 feet, you can't putt.
Yeah, it was good. It was good. Everything came to an end on the back 9, though. When Jay took my fire. Jay, isn't that funny the way that happens, by the way? Can we just take a sidebar here, Your Honor? Isn't it funny the way that happens that sometimes, and I do this a lot, if I'm in a grumpy mood, you can give your grumpy mood to someone else, and then they get in a grumpy mood, and suddenly you feel better for some reason. And I think Jay St. Clair stole my good golf game because he was on fire on the back 9. He was making the birdie putts on the back 9, and I was making nothing.
Yeah, it was a tale of 2 cities. It sure is.
We put you and me together, we might make a pretty good golf. So what do you dealing with? I'll tell you what. We'll take a quick break because I want to find this out. Dealing with what we know about Fannie Willis's conduct, is it the judges determining? I mean, who gets to determine? We're trying to ascertain the facts of the case, and Jay says I'm not really sure what's going on either, and that was my confusion. So the judge in the Trump case gets to decide whether or not she stays on as a prosecutor. If she has violated some of the rules of the office, should that not be up to the district attorney's office to make that determination? Jay will try to sort all of this out for us in just a moment. It's 1:22 on Super Talk 99.7 WG.
Your smartphone never sounded so smart. It's hard to even say it so much. Listen anytime, anywhere with the WTN or iHeartRadio app. By the way, it costs a lot of money. It costs about $740 billion. Find all the options online at 997WTN.com.
Hey friends, it's Matt Murphy. Let's talk about your pain. If I had my friend Danny on the phone again, I would tell him that perhaps instead of buying over-the-counter gummies and whatnot and endangering your place of employment, maybe you just go to the Dr. Gill Center for Back, Neck, and Chronic Pain Relief, and they can provide you with pain relief without the need for pills, without the need for over-the-counter remedy, and without the need or consideration for surgery. Let's discuss, because the Dr. Gill Center's been doing this for a while now, well over 30 years.
A true trendsetter with timeless appeal and exceptional resale value. Discover the epitome of luxury at Genesis Diamonds, where we redefine the essence of your unique love story. We are not just a jewelry store, we are a haven for individuality seekers. Imagine owning a one-of-a-kind, world-class ring meticulously crafted by the best bridal designers in the world, exclusively for you. Your ring is not just an accessory, it's an heirloom with exceptional resale value. Here you'll find the rarest gem, a world-class exclusive selection available only at Genesis Diamonds. Having all these renowned designers in one place is a rarity, an almost impossible accomplishment for any jewelry store in the nation. I'm Ina Abraham. I look forward to welcome you personally. As you know, our accent is always on value.
Sell your home with a guaranteed offer from Mark Spain Real Estate and receive the strongest cash offer in the industry. You'll save time and make the most money. Hi, it's Dan Mandison with a guaranteed offer from Mark Spain Real Estate. You can skip sell. Receive an all-cash offer and close within days. There's no showings, no open houses, and no stress. Find out what the guaranteed offer would be on your home. There's no obligation. Call 855-299-SOLD or go to markspain.com to get a guaranteed offer on your home today. That's markspain.com and start packing.
Talk 99.7 WTN, Matt Murphy, and you, Jay St. Clair's with us as well. It is Friday. We'll get to your questions momentarily. You can get those questions in on the Members Nutrition Super Text hotline. That is 615-737-9986. You can dial us up on the telephone lines, or you can write us on the Super Text line. That's the Members Nutrition Super Text line, 615-737-9986. So, Jay, the question then is where all of this goes. And I know we're kind of putting some speculation hats on here, but she is accused of inappropriately, the best that I can understand, she is accused of having an inappropriate relationship with a subordinate that she hired to be an assistant to her special prosecution and paying him a lot of money. And in the process, she reaped some benefit from that money in terms of trips and whatnot. These are the accusations. Now she's saying, oh, well, I paid him back, and I paid him back in cash, and we get into a lot of weeds there. But what do you think could come of it, and who makes the decision? I would think the DA's office would make the decisions on some level, but it feels like the judge is going to have a decision to make in this case.
Well, you said that just right, man. Your legal acumen is just almost equal to your dog game.
Well, it's going to fall apart pretty soon.
Yeah, we're not back down yet. That'll be after 5 now. All right, so here's what's going on. One of the defendants in this case filed a motion to disqualify her with the judge.
Okay.
And it's very ironic to me. It wasn't Trump, right? It was one of the sort of little people who found out about the messiness of this divorce. Or I don't know. I'm wondering if the Trump people found it out and invented it to these other guys. So that it doesn't look like they're the ones doing it. But anyway, one of the defendants in this case has moved to disqualify as the prosecuting attorney. And he has the right to do that. He can do that in any case. I can do that in any case. And the judge has to rule on that motion. So that's what's in front of us right now, man. And I gotta be honest with you, I mean, she's been doing some bad things, but I don't think any of them violate the attorney professional rules of conduct. It's bad stuff. And she may go, well, actually, she committed a crime, then that's maybe a problem, but it's not a conflict of interest. So the first thing will happen is the judge will decide whether she should be disqualified to handle the case. I don't know how he's going to decide that. He may well say, well, she did a lot of bad stuff, and I'm going to refer her for criminal prosecution, but she does not done anything to violate the conflict of interest in this case. That's possible. But then he's not the only one involved, right? Then you got the whole state apparatus, her superiors, bosses, and so forth. And then you may have her, where, so let's say the judge says, no, I'm not going to keep her on the case. Man, if she stays in this case, it was a circus to begin with. And again, my starting point is none of this stuff's legal.
Right.
It's all
Right.
How is it going to look if she's in there prosecuting this case when we all know what she's been doing? I just think it really undermines her credibility as an attorney in the case. So the judge is going to rule one way or the other. If he kicks her out, and then we'll see who replaces her.
But it goes back to what you were saying right at the beginning too, Jay, that her demeanor on the stand and the manner in which she comported herself might play well to the camera, might play well to her supporters, but it's all about how that plays to the judge who's going to make the ultimate decision.
Mm-hmm. That's exactly right. You're exactly right. And so we'll get a ruling from the judge on whether she should be disqualified. Now, the ruling will not be whether it should be dismissed. That's not what he's being asked to do. Just should she be taken off the case. And if he takes her off the case, she's off the case. And then somebody else is going to step in. If he doesn't take her off the case, then other people involved, and I don't know the intricacies of Georgia law, but for example, in Alabama, the Attorney General can step in any case
because her admission was that she used campaign money. I got a lot of cash during the campaign, and I stored that money up. And I have the exact quote. And I want to ask Jay, not necessarily to the specifics of that, but how that could potentially be used to come after her in some other fashion. Because the suggestion has been, well, you just admitted to a felony on the stand. You're not allowed to use campaign money for personal use. That's what it sounded like she said yesterday. Let's find out what our legal correspondent says about it in just a moment. It's 1:33 on Super Talk 99.7 WGN.
This report